Casper. Here comes the Casper. He wants to be part of it already. There we go. There's the Casper. Okay, don't knock me down, please. And don't put your paw inside my sweater. Attaboy. Attaboy. There we go. There we go. Let's see what we got. There we are. We are live. I can see on Facebook, so that means we're on YouTube. Let me know where you are, where you're checking in from. Good morning, good morning. We're gathering for coffee with Casper. We will gong ourselves in just a couple of minutes here. Let me know where you're checking in from. Happy Tuesday. And for those of you who are watching on other days, good morning from Oklahoma. Good to see you. Marguerite, good to see you. Glad things are going so well. I see you're busy in your productions and doing all kinds of stuff. Good job. Deborah from Albuquerque, good to see you this morning. Good to be seen. There's Reg from Arizona. Good to see you, Reginald. And Pam from Santa Rosa. All right. Very nice to see everybody this morning. Glad we're all gathering. Here we go. Still a little June gloom here in Southern California. From Hollywood, the Rev is in from Hollywood. The Reverend Trish from Hollywood. Beautiful, glamorous Hollywood. All right. There we're already. So we're in California. We're in New Mexico. We're in Northern California, Southern California. We're in Arizona. And we're just getting ready to gong ourselves in. About another minute here, according to the computer clock, which I will rely on. Good morning, good morning. June gloom up north too, huh? Yeah, it's something. Once that pattern sets in, hope it moves this summer. Good morning from South Carolina. Good morning from Studio City. The great and talented Paul Fagan has joined us. Good to see you this morning. Yay. Old friends, talk about old friends. Isn't that cool? Good to see everybody. Aloha from Honolulu. Hi, Ann. How are you? Love to see you and your son doing so well and your friends hanging out. Thanks for posting all your good stuff. All right. Well, there it is. It's 8:30. We're going to gong ourselves in. We welcome everybody along the way. So let's prepare to take a big, deep breath in. We're going to take a big, deep breath in, and we're going to let out the sound ah at the exhale. Ah. We'll do that one more time. Big, deep breath in. Letting that breath come up into your heart center. Letting out the sound ah. And relaxing the shoulders and becoming present just for this next 20 minutes while we think about how we might support an awakening world. Of course, what I believe is everybody who's catching up with this broadcast, whatever time they do, whenever they do, that you are a light worker in the world, that you have somehow touched on to the memory within your own being that you came in order to help the transformation of humanity into a new era, to wake up to the reality of unity consciousness. Many, many years ago, I would do the math, I think it's about 37 years ago, something like that. I got that wrong. 47 years ago. I learned a way of communicating with Source, a way that we had always sort of known. I think intuitively we know somehow, no matter what our religious background is, we intuitively know somehow there's something called prayer. And we would ask the question, what's the difference between a prayer and a thought? And since they both take place in the same place inside of your consciousness, the only difference between a prayer and a thought is your intention. Because every thought is making an impress upon the law of the circle. You are connected to the universe. There's only one mind. We're in that mind together. And that mind is universal. It's the only life force there is. Energy and matter are equal interchangeable. There's not two energies. There's only one energy. And there's all the forms, the infinite variety of forms of matter in more than just this dimension. This is what we call the third dimension, but There are many ways that you were impressed upon the law of the circle. In other words, what's happening in your consciousness is reflecting into all of the levels of your life. By all of the levels, I mean mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, ethereal. These are all different bodies within our bodies, so that we have incarnate. This wonderful gift that Ernest Holmes gave to the universe was this idea that the universe goes from spirit into form, spirit, soul, and body. It goes this way. It's the descent of spirit into form. And of course, if we would like to get unlocked from form or unstuck from form, we have to raise up our consciousness up into this higher level of what we call the I am presence, the image and likeness which we were created in as an instrument of the one for the one. Anyway, going back, good morning from North Carolina. Good morning from British Columbia. Nice to see you all this morning. So here's what I learned some 47 years ago, and it's a very calming statement for me because I have repeated it over and over and over and over again for all these years. And the statement goes like this: I know that there is one power. That power is perfect, and that power is the perfect life of the one. And that life is my life right now. I know there's one power, and that power is perfect, and that power is the life of the one. And that power is my life right now. Now, when we realize that, we have stepped, well, as Casper says, that's my life too. That's right. It is. It's the same life force. When we step into that awareness, then what we really know, and what we know here on Coffee with Casper, everybody who's watching and connecting, and I'm Harry Morgan Moses. You're watching Coffee with Casper. If you're enjoying this time together, then we invite you to share it on your networks. And LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, click, like, follow, post, Facebook groups, wherever you can. We have digital ways of communicating these days, and we can continue. And as you see, we have quite a far reach here on Coffee with Casper. So we like it to reach. We like it to reach out and touch vibrationally those who are vibrating in the same page. You know, this is all based on a very simple principle: birds of a feather flock together. That the universe itself is run on the law of vibration, and what is appearing in your experience as your life or involved in your life is coming from the field of consciousness that you are, the tone, the vibration that you are sending out, which is returning as all these multiple dimensions of your life and my life, right? So here's, this month is around the world in many countries. It's Pride Month. Pride Month is about inclusion. All of the colors of the rainbow belong. And we want to look at the metaphysics of all of that. And the metaphysics of all of that is that the universe has no favorites. There is no favorite person. There is no, hey, welcome from Texas. Nice to see you. Good morning from Saskatchewan, Canada. Nice to see you, Lorraine. Nice to see you this morning. Jumping in from North Carolina. All right. Good to see everybody this morning. So that law of the vibration that's coming from us and that we know is that everyone is equal. That there is no favorite in the universe. There'd be no principle if there were a favorite in the universe. Then it would be random, that the source would be choosing its favorite people and anointing them and no one else. There's no way. Like math has to be the same, right? Math in the United States and math in India, which is a long way from here, is the same math. It has to work the same for the Chinese people as it does for the Russian people, as it does for the Ukrainian people, as it does for the people in the United States, as it does for people in Latin America. The universal laws are the same. Electricity doesn't decide who it's going to work for and who it's not going to work for. Universal principles must be born of equality. And so now you and I are at the place where we were raised, no matter what your background is, no matter what color you are, no matter what nation you came from, you were raised by your culture, and that culture gave you certain subjective biases. that say this person is more deserving than that person, this color is more deserving than that color, this nation is more deserving than that nation. And of course, none of that is true. That's stuff that you were taught based on essentially the ignorance of the race, right? That there cannot be a favorite person or a favorite religion or a favorite thing. They're all paths to the one, lead to the one. All roads, as they said a long time ago, all roads lead to Rome. In this case, all roads are going to leave us home, going to take us home to that which is the light that we came from. And now the question is, are we coming from the light to bring the light, and are we coming to do what we came to do? Which I believe, if you are aware of the unity of all life in a world that is still fragmented, that carrying that awareness into the world in your circle, in whatever way you do that, that's your mission. Now, there are going to be subheads. You know, some people are going to go in the arts, and some people are going to go into sciences, and some people are going to go into governments, and some people are going to go into medicine, and some people... It doesn't matter what form your career or what your professional path turns out to be. We came with a larger message than any of those delineations. And hopefully, if we're aware of the law of vibration, we start tuning ourselves in to the I am that I am, trying to each day being more aware of my authentic nature and tuning into that nature and bringing that nature forward into our experience. Right? So if we see that we are withholding unconditional love is just what it says. It's love given freely, without demands, without expectations, and without seeking anything in return. As if you have four-legged friends, and we certainly do in our household, we have a bird too, right? So we have four-legged friends, we have two-legged friends, we have winged friends, and if you have a relationship with critters, then you know that love is not it's not withheld. It's just always there. It's given freely. You don't love your dog. We don't love Casper. I don't love Casper just because he loves me back. I love Casper because I love Casper. Right? I love because it's my nature to love. And the more we understand that, the more we check to see, are we giving that love freely, or are we withholding it? Are we withholding it because of a lack of forgiveness? I could love, but I can't love that one. I could love, but I can't love that kind. I can love, but I don't like that type. Any of that withholding is where your subjective bias, and there was stuff that you learned which was not true, right, is still interrupting you. So what we do as we're waking up is we get in touch with that authentic self, right? We start bringing that authentic self to bear in our lives, right? And then we try to bring that authentic self forward into the arena of our experience, whatever that is, who's ever in that arena, right? And the more we put our attention on the quality of what we're bringing in through ourselves, through our divine nature, through our I am presence into the world, the more we are in tune to that, the more loving we become, and the more responsive and buoyant the world becomes, because the intention of the universe, source itself, birthed itself into form so that it could know itself, experience itself, right? And in this case, experience itself as you and as me, right? So the more we, for lack of a better term, the more we behave more godlike, and let's change that word so we're not getting stuck in religion, the more we behave in tune with ourselves and in tune with our personal authentic nature, and the more we bring that nature into the world, the more buoyant our life is going to become. Good and more good begins to show up. You begin to instantly see from your mistakes that, and all of us make them, and you see that we have to forgive ourselves, because at the level we forgive ourselves is the only way, that's the same level we're forgiving everybody else in the world, right? If you can't forgive yourself, then you can't forgive anybody else either. So it begins with, I forgive myself and my mistakes, and I'm moving into the future with a clean slate. And then from that place, am I in tune? Am I alive? Am I awake? Am I aware? Am I bringing forth my most authentic vibration into the world? And now here's the mechanism, and this is where we see the reflection of the law of karma. That which is coming back from me is returning as my experience. The more we see that reflection, when we get outside of our own vibrational sphere, right? When we stop behaving in the way that is authentic to ourselves, the universe finds a way to nudge us back in to our own vibration, to bring you back to center. And sometimes it's through a trauma, sometimes it's through a failure, sometimes through it's an accident, sometimes it's a mistake, and then that causes us to reflect again about how did this get into my experience? How did this negative experience happen to me, and what is it trying to tell me? And any negative experience that's happening to you is trying to bring you back into your true nature. It's not scolding you, it's not mad at you, it's just the law reflecting. If you're outside of your true nature, you're not going to experience yourself, and things will look like they are disharmonious in any which way, shape, or form. How do we get back to that harmony? We return to center. We return to ourselves. Now, I have been in the practice for decades and decades of meditating daily. I don't teach meditation workshops because I do mantra meditation. And mantra meditation is I simply put my mantra, and my mantra is I am. I put my mantra in my third eye, I focus my attention there, I relax my body, and I just repeat that over and over again. I am, I am, I am. But that mantra is not the meditation. It takes you to the place, the gap between thoughts, which is where your authentic self can communicate to you in the peace and the poise and in the cathedral of the Most High. And the cathedral of the Most High exists in every soul, from every tradition, anywhere on the planet. But the only one that can take you to the cathedral of the Most High is you. The self is the only one that can take the self to the self. So we have to turn our attention to the awe and wonder of the glory of my true and eternal nature. I am loved at the universe at the same level, every saint, sage, mystic, and prophet of all time. I am loved unconditionally by the One. The One loves me in purity as much as it has loved anyone or anyone through any time, through any age, in any space. The love is present. The lotus flower has already been planted in the center of my heart. Nurturing that flower, opening that flower, bringing that flower forward into expression is our daily work. And then we will know, well, how do I proceed with my daily work? And the answer is chop wood and carry water. We all have that which is ours to do today. Whether ours to do is accounting today, whether ours to do is to do my job today, whether ours to do is to go to the dry cleaners today, whether ours to do is to spring cleaning today. Whatever it is that's yours to do is yours to do. And in the midst of chopping wood, carry water, when you're bringing this divine intention to live in your true nature, and your true nature is that you are now and you always have been and you always will be 100% a spiritual being. What's missing in the consciousness of humanity is the awareness that we are all that. Each one, every man, woman, child, every identity and every identification is one with the One, and deserves, therefore, the purity of love from the One, the purity of forgiveness from the One, the purity of kindness from the One, the purity of joy and laughter from the One. That's all belongs to everybody. And how much we get depends on how much we're bringing into our lives on a daily basis. So today, I'm reminding you that we live in a law of vibration. The vibration that comes from me returns to my experience. Is the vibration that's coming from me matching your idea of the nature of Source, of the nature of your true and eternal self? Are you identifying with that nature and seeking to bringing it into the world today in your unique way? And if you walk that path and you work on yourself on that path, you will see that your sense of communion with the One, your sense of intention and where your consciousness is living, has you both in the gratitude for the beauty that is surrounding you and in the awe and wonder of what is yet to be revealed as your consciousness awakens to your true nature. So clearing up that which is unconscious, bringing it forward and making it conscious, that's our job. And that's what waking up is all about. Waking up is about stretching our consciousness so that we become more and more in tune with the infinite, and through that communion and intention, experience a deeper and more profound life today and in this week. So I celebrate your communion, your attention. I celebrate your waking up. I celebrate your touching the infinite of thy own self and bringing it forward into the world. Because who you are is something magnificent, and what you have to bring is something very important. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. We'll be back next week on Coffee with Casper. Share it wherever it does some good. Bring more love. Bring your true nature into the world in a greater way this week than perhaps ever before. This is the opportunity before us. Until we meet again, I invite you to go in the light, as the light and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. Make it a great week. Bye for now.